commanders at sea for this exercise. Sitting in front of us, starting with the Joint Force Task Commander, Captain Gwala. And for the first time, a Joint Operations Division of the South African National Defence Force, we have a female as an exercise director from Joint Ops HQ, Colonel Mahlangu. Exercise MOSI 2 2023 is a scheduled tri-national naval exercise between China, Russia, and South Africa, which will be held off the coast of Richards Bay over the period 22 to 27 February. The first exercise MOSI was held in Cape Town in 2019. The aim of these exercises then and now is to improve interoperability by means of coordination, cooperation, and capacity building capabilities between the participating naval forces. The aforementioned foreign participants are not the only naval forces that the South African National Defence Force conduct these exercises with. In 2022, South Africa participated in similar exercises with various militaries from countries such as United States of America through Exercise Shared Accord, the forces from France, Exercise Oxide, and Ipsamar exercise between India and Brazil. And I am pleased to inform you that this version of exercise MOSI, we now have Brazil also as well on board as an observer nation, hoping that during the next version they will as well bring in some platforms to participate with. Exercise MOSI 2 2023 will be conducted in Richards Bay area with 5 days of comprehensive alongside phase and sea phase serials. This morning we started with the opening ceremony that was held at 9:30 that set the motion rolling. The strategic objectives for exercise MOSI 2 are inclusive of enhance and develop relations between China, Russia, and South Africa, and expand friendly cooperation between these tri-armies. Second objective, training of multinational task military exercise to counter maritime security threats jointly, as well as to demonstrate the will of jointly maintaining the regional maritime peace and stability. The operational and tactical objectives, based on the initial planning phase, the following was agreed upon by the participating nations. Joint sailing of ships through fleet work, the construction of ships in the wake of the convoy, and rebuilding of ships in the formation of 2 wake columns and rebuilding of ships into a trapezoid formation. In terms of performing combat exercises, joint actions to defeat air targets will be exercised with implementation of simulated artillery firing at targets. The South African Air Force in this regard to simulate various attacks towards ships from various directions. On completion of the simulated air attacks are to be set for and engaged by each ship, with firing only carried out in designated sectors. Joint mine actions with the implementation of practical artillery firing at a naval target. Ships practicing maneuvering informations, detect and hit mock-ups of floating mines. The liberation of civilian vessels captured by pirates. During this phase, specially designated units work out and release of a captured SA Navy vessel. Units of the South African Navy and the Chinese Navy to use helicopters, and division of Chinese Navy and Russian Navy use high-speed watercraft. The assistance to ships in distress at sea, personnel floating on water, the SA Navy vessel in distress will be designated to units that must work out the assistance to SA Navy ship in distress. SA Navy search and lifting of personnel floating from the surface of the water using helicopters, and the Chinese Navy disembarking of emergency vessels using high-speed watercraft and assistance in the vicinity of the cruise. So those are activities that we'll embark on in the next 5 days at sea. I now end the joint statement.
We will now commence with the question and answer session. I noted the lady here, the gentleman, the lady there.
And it's Desiree from Daily Maverick, and I was just wondering, is Russia going to be testing its hypersonic missile during this exercise? And please let us know. Thank you.
Gentleman there, over there.
I'm the journalist from the Xinhua News Agency. I have a question to the Senior Captain Sun Honglin, the commander of the China Navy Task Group. What is the significance of the Operation MOSI 2 in the furthering BRICS defense and security cooperation? Thank you.
Thank you. The lady in front.
Thanks very much. I have 3 questions for all the 3 parties. So I will start with the South African party. The South Africa's leadership is coming...
Sorry, ma'am, which media house are you from?
RT, Russia Today.
Oh.
Yeah. So the South Africa's leadership has come under unprecedented pressure from the Western bloc, from the Western countries, because of the continuing cooperation with Russia, and the European Union, for example, has called the drills are not like he called it not a good coincidence with the conflict in Ukraine, and the White House also has expressed concern because of the ongoing drills. So what is your comment upon this?
In the South African National Defense Force, we conduct joint and multinational exercises regularly as part of our training, as well as part of improving our skills, starting from locally in our region, the SADC region, as well as in the continent under the African Union. But mostly our exercises are in the maritime environment. I believe we all know that a huge chunk of our economic activities as the Republic of South Africa goes through the sea. So it is very much critical and important for us to have our Navy very much competent to protect and secure and ensure safety at sea, have open and free lines of communication at sea. So when opportunities, like when it was planned to have exercises with the defense forces and particularly the naval forces of various countries. It is purely for us to be empowered and for us to get much more skills and for our country to be able to have safety at sea. We will always take this opportunity, and we appreciate that the two maritime forces that are here with us for exercise MOSI 2 have taken time and to be here, and you will all know that they are bigger than our naval force, and we will gain much more than they are going to gain from us, but they are also going to gain from the skills of the local situation and our expertise as well. Now, there was a question of the point that Daily Maverick, if Russia will test its supersonic missile, and I think the Chief of Staff did clearly articulate the activities that will be undertaken during exercise MOSI 2. He didn't mention that part, and we have not discussed or planned. The exercise was planned, I think it commenced 2 years ago, the planning. And I think the issue of the supersonic missile is something that came now. Within the shores or within the maritime zone of the RSA, there is no plan for that to be utilized or to be fired. We must all rest assured. And there was a question also, I think from the RT, inquiring South Africa is facing huge pressure regarding the conduct of this exercise. Well, from the Defence Force, as we have indicated, we planned this. It is scheduled exercise long time ago. At the level of government, the government of the RSA has expressed itself on how South Africa approach to the situation in Ukraine. And the government of South Africa has on many occasions indicated that the South Africa's approach generally and other countries as well prescribe to and believe in dialogue as well as negotiations for peaceful resolutions of conflict. And with that, yes, there will be other countries who feel differently, but in how we have approached this, but all members, all countries are sovereign nations and have a right to handle things the way they see fit. In the military, it is much more different than in the political environment where this pressure is coming from. In the military, cooperation and coordination with all other militaries is one that is very important to us. As we indicated, various countries we have had exercises. Our government did not indicate to us that we then should stop this exercise, and that's why we are carrying on. We believe that it will also contribute to the approach of negotiated settlements and peaceful resolution to conflict, other than if we went the other route of cancelling the exercise. I'll then give the opportunity to my counterpart to respond to the questions that are specific to the People's Republic of China as well as the Russian Federation.
我一并回答两位记者朋友的提问。
So I will answer the two questions from two journalists together.
很高兴率领123编队赴美丽的里达兹湾参加中俄南三方海上联演。
I feel very delightful to arrive at beautiful Richards Bay Harbor along with the Chinese Navy Task Group for attending joint exercise.
我们编队有执行第42批护航任务的导弹驱逐舰淮南舰。
The POA Navy Task Group consists of destroyer Huainan,
导弹护卫舰日照舰
frigate 日照
和综合补给舰可可西里湖舰组成。
and supply ship 可可西里湖。
我们在刚刚执行完亚丁湾索马里护航任务后，寄赴美丽的里达兹湾参加联演。
As soon as we successfully finished the 22nd escort mission in the Gulf of Aden and waters of Somali coast, we come to South Africa for attending the joint exercise.
今年是中南建交25周年。
This year marks the 25th anniversary of diplomatic ties between China and South Africa.
南非继任金砖轮值主席国。
And South Africa will hold the rotating presidency of BRICS.
巴西也派出观察员参加这次联演。
And Brazil will send observers to take part in the joint exercise.
我们相信，在金砖国家合作框架内，通过此次联演，必将有助于各方增加互信。
I believe that within the BRICS trade and investment cooperation framework, the joint naval exercise will undoubtedly help deepen the mutual trust among the three parties.
推动金砖国家防务安全领域的合作。
Further promote cooperation in the field of security.
提升参演各方共同维护海上安全的能力。
Enhance the collective capability to safeguard maritime security.
为维护世界的和平做出我们中国更大的贡献。
And make greater contributions to world peace.
谢谢。
Thank you.
Что касается вопроса по поводу эпизодов, учения, которые будут отрабатываться, значит, я повторю уже сказанное здесь. Значит, это будет совместное маневрирование кораблей трех стран Российской Федерации, Китайской Народной Республики и Южноафриканской Республики. Это будет оказание помощи судну, которое терпит бедствие, будет оказание помощи судну, захваченного пиратами, ну и выполнение артиллерийских стрельб по морским целям. Гиперзвуковое оружие в рамках этого учения применяться не будет. Спасибо.
Thank you. And answering the question, raised question, I would like to tell that all new elements and episodes of the combined naval exercise includes the mutual maneuvering of three sides, assistance of the suffering vessel in the disaster, liberation of captured vessel by the pirates, and artillery fire, which not include, according to our plan schedule, the firing with the hypersonic missiles.
The last question was for the involvement of other BRICS countries in South Africa.
Thank you for that question. The chiefs of the navies from Russia, China, and South Africa, well before 2019, took a decision to have this kind of an exercise. The idea indeed was for all BRICS nations to participate. But by 2019, the ready nations to take up space in the oceans was China, Russia, and South Africa, which we had a very successful exercise, MOSI 1. Now, MOSI 2 includes or will involve Brazil, as I indicated in my opening statement. Brazil will participate as observers, and they were indeed part of the opening ceremony this morning. And therefore, we are looking forward to have Brazil participating with its platforms, but it's difficult times, time and space cost money. And as well as we're still looking forward to see India as well, that will then complete the whole BRICS environment. It is our intention to have all BRICS nations taking part in this exercise. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this media brief. Oh, sorry, sir.
Just give me a chance to the Jews.
Thank you. Just to write on the protocol which have been observed. The issue of BRICS, definitely it is sorted out, but we must also remember that these exercises have been taking place with all these countries combined. But however, as to see the whole BRICS operating, perhaps that will be something for the future. As the Chief of Staff has said it will be a beautiful and a very appreciated thing from our environment.